Hello all, I hope you're treating yourselves well, and of course others. My name is Clair. This is a reading of your reputation, how people generally think of you. I would assume it's going to be the general message, but we will see. I'm glad you're here. You could either be in a situation that you didn't have a strong female figure in your life at one point, or in general, and or you are a female that presents as more masculine in general. I think there's a big duality to whoever you are as a person through that triumph I'm kind of seeing. This is the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. So I think that maybe it was just a woman in your life. Okay, maybe it's not your mother. Maybe it's just a woman in your life has caused some sort of rift, or it's like it could have even been just like you have a hard time holding space with women in general. Maybe that's just not something that you do very frequently, or I hear enjoy, so to each their own. But I think maybe you could have just had like a lot of bad experiences at one point. It could be something as far as like catty teachers in school to like actually having a really detrimental female in your life that caused a lot of turmoil, pain, loss, something like that, or just confusion. I think there is a big issue with seeing females in a positive light, but I would hope that it would just be like, it's more of you want someone to just like treat you right. I think I'm not saying you're a bad person. I think it's a bias that is underneath your skin. I don't think you really necessarily wear it on your shoulders. You could be a very robust individual. You could be very strong, but just very out loud with the things that you feel, and you say frequently where you're at in situations, and maybe that comes off as more masculine, and or maybe you are just like a very masculine person. Maybe you are a guy, but I think there is a strong word to you. You are very word is bond, but also you're gonna say how you feel. Your words could be kind of cutting at times. Maybe that's the lack of nurturing that you might have been neglected in some way, or just kind of overlooked in the area of someone treating you sensitively. Maybe you never got to be that way. Maybe it was forced upon you to not be that way. There's just a whole slew of things that could have been the case. But I think maybe even if you did have a female in your life, they were very judgmental, or I just keep on looking at the eyes of this card, and they're very heavy, they're very stern, they catch your attention. It's like, I like looking at the eyes, but also they look judgy. They look very judgy. Or like, I hear reprimanding. Maybe you could have gone through some sort of abuse, or whether it be emotional or physical. I think maybe an in and out sort of behavior. Maybe you've had to either take care of someone important in your life, and that was like a strain on your time, emotions, just everything. But there is these colors, you're exquisite in the fact that, like, see, like how consistent this color is. There is a consistency in you that was produced through your trials, traumas, the things that you've been through. There's a richness to you. See, like, there, it's literally in the background. It follows you in every one of these cards. So maybe you really like teal. You could really enjoy water. You could be really good at sharing your emotions, for better or worse. You could really enjoy like warmth in general. Like, you could really gravitate towards warm things. Like, you could enjoy like blankets, hugs, sand, like warm sand on a beach, like warm pavement. Just, you could like the smell of the pavement. Like, I don't know if it's the pavement or what it is. I remember when I used to live in the South, but you could smell when the rain was coming, and it was just, it was really delicious. It was a really nice smell, and it kind of like, in the back of my head, I always assumed it was kind of like the ground that was kind of smelling like that for some reason. There was not even a logical reason for that, but I digress. Maybe you could enjoy the smell of rain, or you could like washing yourself. Maybe you have like a bathing ritual that you really hold to yourself. Maybe that's how you kind of that's maybe where you can get some sort of satisfaction. Not saying that you don't have a lot, or maybe you don't. Whatever the case, I think that you really enjoy maybe some warm water. So maybe you even like jacuzzis, saunas, spas. I hear that you really enjoy touch. I think people think of you as a very logical individual. You got, let's see. This is the Justice card. So I think people think of you as a very logical person. Maybe you can be kind of stern in the sense that you like to see justice. Maybe it's kind of a thing in the back of your head where you enjoy kind of like seeing people get what they are owed, you know, like if they're good people, you enjoy seeing the upcome, the upheaval, but if they're bad, you will watch on and spectate as as they fall. I think you are generally looked at as a person that is kind of doing your own thing. I think maybe people are aware of your job, but I don't think that maybe you don't have a lot of friends at your job, or maybe a lot of like colleagues, or maybe a lot of people that you can talk to about the things that you're doing. I think you possess a sort of energy that people onlook and wonder how you're doing it. I think there's a mysticism. Like, I'm looking at in the Justice, this curtain. I think maybe you have the ability to whether you know it or not, to kind of play the part. If you are unsure of what you're doing, it kind of easily looks like it. You're easy to fool people. Back with the Two of Pentacles, I think you really hold steady to, if you can get in a groove of something, then you can master it pretty easily. I think you could maybe even make people ramp up what they're doing. Like, if you have people in the same field, whether, like, if you know them or not, I think people are kind of observing how you are making your figure eights. Like, I think people are seeing how you are making your product or proceeding forward in whatever way, and kind of feeling not a sense of competition, but it definitely could be. But I think it's more of like, they're like, oh gosh, I need to do this too. Like, not do this like what you're doing, could be, but I think they're more so like, I need to get my shit together. I need to gather all my pinnacles and start throwing them in rotation, like start to juggle some things that I'm good at, because what else, like, what am I doing? Like, you could really have people stuck in their thoughts for a second about, like, how am I really, like, what am I doing? You could enjoy ships. You could enjoy glass of some sort, I hear. Like, maybe art or windows, just glass. I think that you like glass of some sort. I think you have a hard time observing your surroundings. Maybe you are kind of in your own world. Yeah, maybe people kind of find you distant with the moon. I think because you got the Three of Swords, which I'm a little confused, so we'll get back to that in a second. The moon, I think that maybe you hold, you allot yourself so much time or effort on people, and or give in to so, I think you kind of give what you get from people, so people might feel like you're holding out on them, kind of thing. It's weird. I think that, like, people kind of see your potential maybe even before you do, and if you hold back in any way, or if they feel that you are not like, they always are kind of wanting the reassurance. Like, if you aren't giving all of yourself, which I doubt you do, because there's obviously something where you're very ingrained in yourself. I don't think you feel comfortable and or it necessary to spread yourself thin amongst a lot of people. So maybe only a few people really get the benefit of all of you. But I think people can kind of feel you holding back, and they want to, like, attain that. Like, maybe they want to, like, break down your shell. They want to figure you out. And it's probably a reoccurring thing in your life. I think that maybe that's what the Three of Swords is. Maybe people are trying to, like, crack your surface, and when it doesn't work, they kind of get frustrated, or you start to catch on to, like, tricky ways, childish ways, or behavior that is just not conducive to what you're allowing in your life at this point. And I think it can get a little dicey. I think that people can feel a lot of emotions from that and maybe react in different ways. You've probably seen a whole gang of reactions to the way that you are, and I don't think that you really view yourself, like, say you know yourself really well. I don't think you are really, like, say you have, like, a show of yourself, like you're like the Truman Show or something. I don't think you're watching that show. Like, I don't think you're paying really a lot of attention to how you are moving. I think you're just making the moves that you have to, that you want to, It's all kind of, you're the dance at this point. You are the motions. I heard the Force. So maybe you're into Star Wars, or just like watching it right now. But I think you really are embodying what it's like to just like be the thing that you were trying to attain. So you're not watching out for like it's not a study for you. You're just kind of, it's intuition, it's forward motion with ease. Even if you do see towers, even if you do mess up, it's, you kind of see it as a part of either the plan, or you're like, okay, I've messed up, let me rewind, or not even rewind, let me view the tapes, let me see what I did wrong, and address it when the time comes. I don't think a lot of things scare you because you could have seen a lot of towers. When the tower shows up in situations like this where it's like describing someone, I like towers, like not in general per se, but I enjoy the card in general. So when it shows up as a person, it's charming to me. I think that you kind of laugh in the face of danger, or you kind of have like there's like a sinisterness to it, or you just know that you're gonna prevail. Like you don't know how all the time, and sometimes things probably do get below the surface. Like you probably do get a little injured, like with some of the things that you have to go through, maybe even a little blindsided. Maybe you've had a lot of things that you had to walk away from, especially maybe even recently. Maybe you're starting to see a lot of things that you didn't in the past, and it's like all coming to pass. And maybe you are starting to see your strength where people have always seen it, and maybe that's why you're like, oh, that's why people are captivated with my, like what I'm doing, because maybe I really do have like something that's maybe I think you were just starting to like smell your own like flower. So like, you know, like your harvest is coming to pass. Like I don't think any, like what do you say, defeat is nigh. Like you are going to prevail, and maybe people thought they were kind of tripping you up at one point, maybe because you are so aloof. They kind of were like thinking that they were getting emotions out of you because you were like being quiet or just like out of the picture. Maybe you've been kind of doing your own thing with the Four of Cups. It seems maybe you've just kind of been distracted with other things. Maybe you've even just been kind of like letting go of a lot of baggage in general, just kind of being more lighthearted. You could even be talking more about the things that you've been doing, or what, like, in general, I think people thought that they were holding a heavier weight in your life than really is in actuality. I think that with the Six of Swords, the things that you, like, look at this little bag. I think that's what you pretty much have towards the past. Like maybe you have a few people that you're carrying with you. Maybe you have a few lessons that you've learned, because it's like swords. You've obviously learned a few things on the way, but I think this little bag represents like the extent of maybe what you're holding dear at this point, or like it's just you've lightened your load because you were absolutely ready for next chapter, next phase, better, easier. It's obvious that you are, I hear, like an entrepreneur, or you're good at whatever your craft is. You could even have like a 9-to-5. You could be the most basic sort of job ever, but you define it, and or you just are, you move really well. Your job could not have anything to do with your personality too. It could just be that people see that whatever you want in life, it kind of comes to you because the Ace of Wands, you possess some sort of like a magic. Like you, doesn't matter where you stand on the scale of like mysticism or spirituality or religion or any of that. I think people really see you as a force to be reckoned with. And like I think I've beaten down the point a few times, maybe even before you did. I think maybe you were just starting to realize why people always gravitate towards you, or maybe why you've been having so many like people always like butting heads with you or stuff like that. Like it just seems like a continuous notion of you just having to like figure people, places, things out. And you've kind of been juggling maybe even stability in general. But I think you might be really attacking that now, like the idea of stabilizing something in life. And I think people are really starting to notice it and really starting to look. I think that they're starting to be like, what's going on over there? And but a glorious thing. You gotta know I love you. Pile 2. Pile 2. Hello. Hi. I hope you are well, and I'm glad you are here. Let's start. I think I was kind of getting the notion that you could have been someone that was in a very long relationship. You could have a family with someone, or you could have had like a very dominant relationship in your like city, town, social circle. Maybe just people were very aware of you being in a relationship. You could have pets with someone. There is something in life had caused, I would think maybe a breakup or a fight, something tragic kind of kept you away from this person. I think something dragged you away from this person. It looks like kind of life did it. It might have happened quickly, or you could have seen it coming, but I think life sort of happened. I think you're kind of in a path of understanding what truly unfolded in the situation as a whole. Maybe because you don't quite understand the situation, or maybe there was a mincing of like words, maybe improper communication, or someone had to just leave quickly or abruptly. Maybe someone ghosted a situation. It could have been a situation where you guys always fought, or maybe just kind of went head to head with each other in the marketplace of ideas. I think there was a lot of passion. Maybe people thought you guys looked good together. You could have had a very strong looking presentation about you guys. I think one or both of you was very put together. There's like a lot of passion. Certainly could be very good looking. I think maybe you could have had like a very cute pet or something that you shared together that people enjoyed watching the progress of, I think. I think there's still like kind of a burning passion, it seems as though. Or maybe not, actually. It could be that someone with the 7 of... Okay, so this is the... Yeah. Okay, so the King of Cups... This could be same-sex, or it could just be not. I just got that. But there was a lot of harsh words, I think, said over a period of time, maybe harsh things done. I think maybe both of you were in a very unhealed place. There could have been vices involved, maybe damage done over time. You could have been under the influence. I think there was a lot of bad communication. There could have been a lot of passion. Just for lack of better words, you guys could have trauma bonded with each other, and it was kind of obvious that you guys were on a destructive path. Maybe people kind of watched you guys de-evolve, like, you know, kind of degrade, or like maybe both of you kind of turned into a creature that you initially were not, or maybe you both turned, people just saw a change, like a transition. It doesn't have to be a good thing or a bad thing. There was just confusion. This could have been a long awaited ending, or this could have, even if you guys separated instantly, like maybe it was like a surprise that you are not around each other as much or at all, I think the time kind of was the test of, like, you needed some space no matter what. I think that the space was kind of a godsend. It was a part of the dynamic plan. It was a divine timing for sure. I think the world needed to blow down, like, the forest, you know how, and I think it's just, I don't know where it's exactly, but in California they do, where they burn some of the forest so it doesn't turn into wildfires. Pardon me for not knowing the actual verbiage, like what the word is for that. But the Ace of Wands, I think you guys needed to burn down the house. You needed to destroy a lot of things in order for there to, like, I'm not sure if there's anything healthy to be had as of right now. There's a lot of emotion, probably a lot of intensity, maybe even you guys built something together, but the world definitely provided sanctuary for both of you. It made it so that you could breathe a little bit away from each other. Like, I think you both might have turned into like dragons a little bit, like maybe just blowing fire, and maybe it just turned you into a very, very intense person. I think people are seeing you balance that out. I think this could have been in the past, perhaps, and you are starting to really balance out the notion of taking the reins on a healthy lifestyle. Maybe you did have some addictions, like whether it be visual or physical. Maybe you are really balancing out the scales on yourself and your life. I think that there's like like you might be starting to treasure your life where you hadn't at one point. Maybe you kind of had been depleted into really not understanding like how much potential you held, or there's a lot of, I want to say magic, for lack of like better words. I think that there is a connection to you in this world that you could have been cutting off. Maybe there's something inside of you that you are kind of stomping out, your fire, your light. Maybe you're kind of numbing yourself for whatever reason. I think the world is trying to set you ablaze. I think it really is trying to like set everything in the vicinity, scorched earth, mode for you, because I think your potential is to be unlocked. I'm hearing like in the stars, so there could be like, let's see, you could be like a part of a master plan that you're not seeing yet. I know this is supposed to be like how people see you, so let's see. I didn't realize it would be like how the world sees you, like as a planet. I think if you are looking for a new friend group, that is the right direction to go. Maybe you need to cauterize some of the wounds that you've had with people. Maybe you're holding on to some people in your life that could fall away. Not saying that they didn't serve a huge purpose at one point. They could have been just the loveliest person to you ever. But I think that you lightening your load right now, you can come back to them later too. You can, there's time and place for things, evolution. I think there is a need for you to really figure out where you're trying to go. I think maybe you've done a thing where you've been living in other people's like lives. Maybe you kind of feel as of like, what have I done for myself as of lately, or in general? You could feel like you have really wrapped yourself in, just because you had the Queen of Wands in reverse. So I think that maybe you have always been in friend groups. Maybe you're always been in a relationship or relationships, and it's really starting to show that you have not spent a lot of time with yourself and or figured out what you would like to do in general. Maybe you've kind of put up with being around people and being annoyed constantly, realizing recently that maybe you're not supposed to be such a out and about all the time sort of individual. There's a, like, you could have really enjoyed it at one point and it could have been really fulfilling, but as of lately you could there's a need for, with the Two of Wands, a reestablishing. I think you could come back to yourself and give yourself a little bit of time, rest. I'm hearing, it's weird, I'm hearing that you look into foods that help you dream, because maybe your dreams could help you, and for some reason, whoever that's for, I hope it helps. But I think there's a real big need for you to figure out the things that you think about a lot, perhaps maybe with how you deal with leaving situations. I think there's a big issue with you sticking around for too long, putting up with too much, allowing the fact that you just want to be a part of something to cloud your judgment towards the thing that you're being a part of. I think it's very easy for you to be swayed into poor behavior or not making decent decisions or just being really stagnant, idle. It's easy for you to hang out, I think, or it's easy for you to get by. I think that you're not taking any huge risks, or you haven't been taking a lot of huge risks because you have been just like putting yourself on the back burner, maybe. In a way, you could have you could work. Like, I'm not saying that you're not working or doing something in your life that has like prosperity attached to it, but I think that there is a grand scheme, like there's a higher level that you could be attaining, and you're neglecting, like, maybe you could just find, even if you don't know what you're looking for, I think it might kind of simmer to the top. Like, you could really boil off a lot of the stuff that's around you. Like, say you're floating in a pot, like, you want to be the most saturated person that you can be. You want to be potent. You want, or be more potent. There's more for you, I think. I think that you might have been beaten down. This is the Two of Swords. Maybe someone has really, like, cast words at you, maybe actually harmed you in some way. You could have gone through a very, very deep, dark time, but there is freshness, there is something to fight for, and it is painfully obvious to other people. I would say, I think a lot of other people definitely are like, why is this person putting up with this sort of behavior? Or, like, maybe they are wondering, like, what you have in common with some of the people that you surround yourself with. You could have, like, a lot of different people viewing you in general, so there's, like, a lot of different sides to what's going on. But the King of Wands, yeah, I think people are saying that you can, like, hold space for a lot of different kinds of people, which is, it's nice, it's cool. But I think people see maybe that you could work towards yourself, like, maybe work towards yourself in a new way. I think maybe they're saying that you could be doing something that something else would serve you better. I'm not even trying to go down that really. You should, I'm sure you know, but I think that there is you got the Death card. It was in reverse. So you could be, I just want to clarify it real quick. You could be expressing that you're nervous lately, or expressing that you want change more frequently, or asking. I think you maybe could be, like, praying or writing the things that you want, or journaling. You could be writing more. I think you are trying to, like, go towards an art form to kind of let yourself out, like, the emotional, the way that you're kind of letting go of the things that you feel are in an art form that you might be keeping to yourself. Or you could be asking people for advice. Maybe that's what is happening as of right now. Maybe you are kind of saying that you're stuck, or you're feeling stuck. Maybe you're kind of showing signs of needing guidance, or asking for safety. You could be asking for safety too, or asking to, like, come back to people that you feel more safe with. You could be returning to a situation that is more wholesome and or, like, family-like, or safe. You could be like safe for as of lately, or just like kind of putting yourself in hands that actually seemingly care about you more. I think you're really just at a point where I think people are seeing that you are wanting to start over, even if it's extremely hard. I think you kind of do carry a lot of the things that you feel and or have been through on yourself, on your shoulder, and that's how you like it. I think that you kind of want to display that you have been through a lot so that people tread lightly in a sense, but I think people are kind of seeing that you are building towards like a new tomorrow, a new person, a new thought, a new just general feeling. I think maybe you're sick and tired of being sick and tired is the gist of it. And good on you. I feel proud for you. I think that because like a lot of these have like dark like black crows, and this is like the first time I've noticed there's this like inverted one. There's like this little white crow at the top, which is very much maybe you have someone who's passed on that is a guardian of yours now, or has been for a while, or you have a specific angel that you look towards, or maybe you're getting specific guidance from someone that is looking specifically down on you, that has a mission to be at your aid. And they see you, they appreciate the things that you've been through and understand it takes time. And I think that life really appreciates you going through these things so that you can help push the narrative forward of, we're here. Forward progress. Gosh, I always whatever. I think that the world is very appreciative of you being here, and I am too, so you gotta know I love you. Hello. Pile 3. So we're talking about your reputation, people's thoughts of you. Let us get it. You could be into combat sports or just a very strong figured person. You could have a lot of defining features on your body. I think people see you as well put together. You could have animals. I think maybe you have animals that I hear good looking animals, so maybe you have some sort of animal that people always enjoy. I think you probably have nice lighting in your place. That's cool. You could keep your place dimly lit pretty frequently. I think people probably come to you often. I think you either have a house that people enjoy coming to, or you just frequently hold parties, you host. I think that you have a nice ambiance. There's a nicely lit sense to it, very romance lighting or mood lighting for sure. You might not even have, for some reason, a lot of windows in your place, or you could have covered them. They could be stained glass. You could have a lot of glass things in your place as well. You could have figurines or china, glass, just finishings and stuff like that, throughout the house, there's a lot of breakable stuff that looks really nice. And that is cool. I aspire. Maybe you are kind of a person that seemingly is a big kid, whether you enjoy being around kids or not. You have a very playful sense about you. Maybe you don't like kids, I hear. Maybe you are awkward around kids, or you just don't prefer to have them at your place for some reason. Maybe because all the breakable stuff. But I think you could maybe have plants as well, and or be very stoic. I think you could just have a very eccentric personality where you might know a lot of things. This is 5, 6. You could be like a figurehead in some way, like a genuine member of some sort of society, or at the head of something, tall ranking at some sport, whatever you offer, whatever you do, you excel in it extremely. And I think that it's seen like in your field, whether it be work or pleasure. I think you are very profound and recognized for it. It doesn't have to be like you have awards or something like that, but I think it's noticed for sure. It's amongst your peers. They see you. They appreciate you, I hear, but maybe you have been there for a lot of people, or let's clarify this. You got this strength in reverse. So maybe you like to not be around so much. Maybe that's what it is. You have a place that is like your sanctuary, it's your castle, but you can like put a moat around it very easily. Maybe you can cut people off from your situation quickly, and or you are quick to just have the time that you need for yourself. You could have an animal that you love to death, or just a hobby that you really enjoy that takes up a lot of your time. Maybe you could enjoy wood as much as glass. You could have a hobby that is one of these, like into ceramics or wood. Maybe you have a hobby that's into what in the world is it called? Glass blowing. What I was thinking of the one with the metal, where you work with metal, but it's cool. We're just gonna act like that didn't happen. You could work with a whole array of things. Not that you have like a lot of things that you do, but there's a lot of potential for like whatever you guys are very hands-on and are good with some sort of skill. That's kind of like tactical though. I think it takes a lot of skill to do it, and or make it look good. I think you are very on yourself about like taking care of your body or your mental self. I think there's a very strong balance to you. Whether it's always been that the way that's you could have this could be like a redemption arc for you as of lately, where you kind of like started to like nicer things. Maybe you started coming out just furnishing your place nicer. You could have always done that too, and you just didn't have the means or the funds to have like super nice things, and you do lately. Or maybe you're just kind of just prioritizing luxury, or just the amenities that feel good. Maybe you just want to you want your surroundings to have a certain feel to them, because it affects your mindset. I think you're really starting to maybe you're about to start training your animal. Or maybe you're about to start like going on hikes with them or walks. Maybe you're about to go on like a trail or a trip of some sort. Maybe you're worried about your animal while you go on this trip. Maybe you're having to find out what you're going to do when you travel. Yeah, I think that you might be searching for your next step. I think you're looking for something new. I think this new phase in life, whether it been prompted by you having a physical change, like more money or an idea of some sort, or just like an emotional change, so you are kind of just making it work with that. I think that you're starting to want to see a physical change in something, whatever it is to you. I think you are starting to feel disinterested or dissatisfied with a way that has been, and it's coming to pass. That Seven of Pentacles from the Page of Pentacles it's like the idea that you want to actualize. It's something that you see potential in, that like the way towards it is kind of materializing before you, and or you see real world potential in this. It could be a person, place, or thing. I think you are starting just to see a spark, an effort towards something is kind of lighting your fire. I think it could be frustrating. You could go back and forth between wanting to really change up something and then going back to like, but I like being comfortable as well. Like maybe you're just recently finding comfort and you are wanting to maximize that. You're wanting to like level up in some way, but you're also kind of like, maybe I should just chill. Maybe I'm like doing too much or something like that. I think slow progress is your best friend in this. I don't think with the Knight of Pentacles, I think you taking small steps, it doesn't like, they could be just a matter of changing routines, stopping doing something that you know could be helpful, saving in a certain way, saving up for something, just putting something, materializing something. Is best done for you in easy, steady, slow progress. I think you could easily get burned out if that's not a thing that happens in general with you. This could be like kind of a little heads up of like just steady progress, because you know, like when things go up in a flame really quickly, when you get attached to things or you like want something really quickly, it usually like goes out that quick too. So I think if you want upheaval, you want to surf, like I think you want to be a part of something. I don't think you just want it for like a short amount of time. I think maybe talking to people about this could help you find motivation towards it. Maybe people can give you words of encouragement, or of course I would maybe it's not even people. Maybe you're supposed to just like start writing some things down. Maybe your actualizing is literally putting the words on some sort of paper, or like, you know, typing them out in some way. Maybe you're supposed to be writing something. Maybe that's what you're supposed to be doing. You could be having like a writer's block or like a creative block as of lately, because you are like really pushing forward. Maybe you have seen results in something that you really are happy that you're seeing results in, but you have been like pushing and it's kind of caused a stagnation and or a burnout in some way. You could be very highly emotional. Maybe you don't really understand all the things that you're feeling. Maybe you're walking away from people. Maybe you see that you have to spend a lot of time alone or stop giving to some group or something in order to start fresh, or maybe you're gonna have to move somewhere and that's gonna like cause you to not know anyone anymore. You're having, with the Eight of Cups, you're having to walk away, and it's not the easiest thing you've ever done. I think you're kind of fighting yourself. You could be going back and forth with if you really should be doing it. I think that there is a need to step away, even if it is just for a certain period of time, from whatever you're feeling, the tug against. I think maybe a way to balance things out, maybe for you to see a little bit more clearly, is allowing yourself to step away for a second, because you have the Queen of Wands in reverse as well. I'm just going to clarify this super quick. Maybe you started something and you're starting to see that you don't want to be a part of it anymore. Maybe you've lost the spark for it. You've lost the flame, whether it be a person, place, or thing. You're starting to realize that you no longer want to give to the situation. I think that it might be really causing a lot of regret or mental instability. Maybe it's just really weighing on you. You're kind of refusing to let the change be had, I think. Apologies. So this is the Tower. I think that maybe it's kind of obvious that you are needing to... Did I say you got the Tower in reverse? I think it might be kind of becoming more obvious that you need to let something go or stop doing something, maybe start giving to something else. Just, there's a need for... Okay, I'm so apologetic. I had like a coughing fit, so maybe you have like a lump in your throat towards whatever you need to do. Maybe you need to take a step back in order to communicate properly. Maybe you kind of have been goofy or lighthearted towards a situation, and you realize that you're going to have to like lay the smack down, or you're going to have to actually like buck up. Like, you're gonna have to take the situation and turn it into a serious one. Maybe you don't want to do that, but it's necessary. You could have been putting this off for a while, but there needs to be an actuality of something that has persisted for too long, or needs to be diminished, erased, gotten rid of, something of the sort. It needs to be dealt with, and properly needs to be dealt with. It might have, you thought it had been at one point, and it's reoccurring, so proving that it is not. But if you haven't dealt with it, whatever the case is, it matters not. I think maybe there is a need for you to reassess how you're going to deal with this situation, I think. And yeah, just I hear, be light on your feet, be ready to make swift movements, just get to know yourself to the top tier, because you're going to have to rely on intuition a lot. And for that, you gotta know I love you.